Attention, this could be a serious rival for Forza Motorsport 2. 2.5 years after the release of the Microsoft simulation, the Xbox 360 has added a title to its catalogue that is one of the games that respects motor racing authenticity. Race Pro by Simbin is a loyal adaptation of GTR Evolution. The game content is identical to that of the officially sanctioned World Touring Car Championship games Race and Race 07. Simbin is offering players several updates to download new championships. The latest concerns of STCC, which is not part of the Race Pro menu, but all the other categories from Evolution are on offer. The WTCC features wheel-banging competition between cars such as the Alfa Romeo 156, BMW 3 Series, Seat Leon, Chevrolet Lacetti, and the S2000 cars. One regret is that it isn't possible to download the models from the 2008 season. The catalogue is well stocked with GT cars like the Aston Martin DB R9 and Corvette C6 in either GT1 or GT2 configuration. The championships offer improbable battles between Corvettes and Vipers. There are also open-wheel categories like Formula BMW, which then leads to the Euro F3000 series. The PC versions allowed players to sample pretty much any car they wished. In Race Pro, that privilege has to be earned via a career mode that is both basic and easy to follow. It isn't a bad decision, but for those who want to experience speed and the pleasure of driving, this could be a bit of a frustration. Race Pro's presentation is a little bit sober compared to the standard of computer games. The presentation of the cars is minimal and the menus are very succinct. The game modes have been reduced to the bare minimum with open races, practice sessions and career mode. And it's hard to believe there isn't a single championship proposed, an incredible omission from an editor that pays painstaking attention to detail. There are 13 tracks to choose from, which isn't a lot compared to the competition. What has happened to the Magny-Cours and Puebla circuits? This surprising lack of generosity from Simbin forces one to believe that creating console games isn't as simple as that. But Simbin has included the Po, Porto, and best of all, Macau street circuits, and America's top road circuits Laguna Seca and Road America have fortunately been included. Once the action begins, Race Pro starts earning its sales prices. Creating the realistic driving sensations is what the Swedish editor does best. But you'll have to disconnect all the driver aids to get the most out of it. We recommend keeping just a bit of ABS and anti-skid control for the bigger GT cars to cut down on the time that you'll spend off the track. Playing the professional mode requires dexterity and patience. The opposition that you face isn't the hardest part. Your real foe is the driver himself. You have to know how to judge the limits of the car and be able to master the racing line and braking points in order to finish the race in one piece. Another difficulty to overcome is mastering the setups. The setup menu to improve performance is a real shambles. You'll need Alan Prost-like understanding of setup, or you'll need to be a real-life racing engineer to understand how to get the most from what is offered. We suggest lowering the ride height and lightening the anti-sway bars to make the car more incisive and eliminate understeer, but then that's easier said than done. Another area of disappointment concerns the artificial intelligence, which in this case is a contradiction in terms. Your opponents are a bunch of bores, not an ounce of finesse in their driving styles. The constant door and bumper banging becomes old early on, and a nasty tendency for blocking makes finding one's own racing line difficult. The races are choppy and not a whole lot of fun. You soon lose patience, and as is the case in real-life racing, when the blood begins to boil, driver errors are just around the corner. The other drivers rarely make mistakes, and even when you give them a good push, their cars stay stuck to the ground, which can be quite unnerving. Nevertheless, it is still possible to have some spirited confrontations. Race Pro offers plenty of excitement, and the sounds are quite incredible. And the precision driving required makes even picking up one position or finishing on the podium a real big deal for the player. A slight lack of vibration in the game controller prevents getting a good feeling, which in turn inhibits helping the driver, but being deft behind the wheel will make the difference. The production levels are somewhat uneven. Once again, we're comparing it to the competition. Graphically, Race Pro isn't on a par with Grid or Forza. The quality of the cars is actually quite good. We just think the imagery is a tad somber, which can become an issue in certain cockpits on street circuits. There is still a lot more to say about Race Pro. For sure, this is Simbin's first go in producing a console game. The task is monumental, and while some objectives haven't been met, Atari has a game that considerably bolsters its catalogue. One thing's for sure, we'll be keeping an eye on this one, and we'll have more to say about Race Pro in the very near future.